Hello everyone. Heart being one of the most essential organs of the body. It is present inside the thoracic cavity and it acts as a muscular pump, pumping the blood to all the vessels of the body. Welcome everyone. This is my YouTube channel Anatomy Explained and I myself Dr. Ankit Khandelwal, MBBS and MS in Anatomy. But first of all, thank you for liking my previous videos, to subscribing and sharing it to others. So this is the Anatomy Explained YouTube channel and the topic for the today is the basic anatomy of the heart. So how we are going to proceed further? We have divided this basic anatomy of the heart into few of the learning objectives, and these few of the learning objectives are: first we'll understand the chambers of the heart, where are they located. Once we are clear through it, then we'll go to the borders and surfaces of the heart, then how those borders and surfaces are present on the surface of the body with the topic that is surface projections. So let us first understand the chambers of the heart. Heart, as we know, has four chambers. It has two atrial chambers which are known as the right atrium and the left atrium. It also has two ventricle chambers which are thicker than the atrium, which are known as again the right ventricle on the right side and the left ventricle on the left side. So what happens is that we should be knowing that the atria are those chambers which are actually receiving the blood. So the veins of the body will drain into the atria, and the ventricles are the ones which are pumping out the blood. So the blood will actually be pumped out from the ventricles. So these are the vessels which take the blood outside or away from the heart. They are known as arteries. So the arteries or the bigger arterial trunks will be coming or will be attached to the ventricles. So let us first draw a flow chart of the sequence of how the blood is flowing. So blood from all the body, blood from all the body, that is the deoxygenated blood, will first enter into the right atrium via the SVC and the IVC, the superior inferior vena cava. From the right atrium, the blood will go into the right ventricle via the tricuspid valve, or we can say the AV valve, atrioventricular valve, or the right AV valve. From right ventricle, the blood will go via the pulmonary artery called as pulmonary trunk into the pulmonary circulation, because that is the pulmonary trunk, into the lungs. In the lungs, this deoxygenated blood will be oxygenated and it will come back via the pulmonary veins into our other chamber that is known as the left atrium. So now the oxygenated blood will come into the left atrium. From there the blood will go via the mitral valve into the left ventricle, and from this left ventricle the blood will be pumped throughout the body in the form of arteries, that is the main aorta. So let us see over here that this is the SVC and IVC carrying the deoxygenated blood into the right atrium. From right atrium it goes into right ventricle through the tricuspid valve, that is the deoxygenated. From right ventricle the pulmonary trunk will be having the deoxygenated blood which will be going into the lungs. So lungs will be having the deoxygenated blood, but in the lungs there is exchange of the gases. So from the lungs which comes out is the oxygenated blood, the red color. The red color over here is showing you the oxygenated blood. The oxygenated blood will go via the pulmonary veins into the left atrium. From left atrium, this oxygenated blood will go into the left ventricle via the mitral valve. And from this left ventricle, the blood will go via the aorta, that is the ascending arch and descending aorta, throughout the whole body. And in the body, what is again happening, that the whole at the tissue level or the capillary level, that exchange of the waste products and the nutrients will happen at the tissue level, and ultimately all that blood will ultimately come from the upper and lower part of body in the form of SVC and IVC, the deoxygenated blood again throughout it. So this small transaction from right ventricle to the left atrium, this forms our pulmonary circulation, and this forms through the body, that is our systemic circulation, and the organ which is doing all these chambers are the organ that is our heart. So let us understand how the chambers actually situated in relation to each other. So there are two things which we need to know. These two rules are there which we need to know while understanding the chambers. So we know, okay, that in the atria the blood are entering, and the blood is going from atria to the ventricles. From the ventricles they are going into the lungs or into the body. That is a basic feature, but we have to understand the chambers. So two rules are there for understanding the chambers, and those two rules are: rule number one, Rule number 1 says that the right-sided chambers, okay, and what are these right-sided chambers? These right-sided chambers are actually our RA and RV, that is a right atrium and right ventricle. So these right-sided chambers are present anteriorly. It doesn't mean that directly in front, but in relation they are present more anteriorly compared to their respective left-sided chambers, First understand these two rules, then we'll proceed further to understand the other details. The second rule says that the atrias, what are the atrias? The right atrium and the left atrium. Both the atrias, in relation to their ventricles, they are present more on the right side. So both the atrias are to the right of their respective ventricles. Respective ventricles means the RV and the LV over here. And here the respective left-sided chambers were LA and LV over here. So remember these two things, and then the things would be easily sorted out. Let us focus on over here. So if you can easily see, then if we make the right atrium with this color, light blue color, if we make the right ventricle with a dark blue color, or let us change the color to, let us say, right ventricle with the green color, that would be more specific over here. Okay, if we make left atrium with the yellow color, and if we make a left ventricle with this red or dark red color, so this is denoting which color? This red color is denoting the LV, this yellow color is denoting the LA, that is the left atrium, this greenish color is actually denoting the right ventricle, and this bluish color over here will be denoting the right atrium. Okay, these are the four chambers. Understand that. Now that is a whole topic, that is the development of heart, where the looping of the heart occurs. That is a whole different topic, but here we have to understand this, or these two rules, how they are performing over here. First rule said that the right-sided chambers, that is this RA and RV, they are anterior to the respective left-sided chambers, which is LA and LV. So if we try to remove this RA from here, and if we try to make RA where right in front of LA, so this would be the location of RA in front of LA. So you can write this as LA, and this is RA. RA lies in front of LA. The same thing over here, that this RV over here, if we make it this color, it will lie certainly a little bit anterior to the LV. So this is RV and that is our LV. Fine, that is rule number 1. Rule number 2 says that the atrias means both RA and LA, they are to the right side of their respective ventricles. Okay, so this is rule number 2. So rule number 2, if we apply rule number 2, then this right atrium will be to the right of right ventricle. So we take this right atrium from here, and right atrium was this color, and if we put this right atrium to the right side of right ventricle, so this is right atrium over here. Okay, this is our right atrium. So atria are to the right side of the respective ventricles. So if we take now the left atrium, which was this yellow color over here, this left atrium, now you have to understand that the left ventricle is already posterior, because the first tool said that the left sided are actually slightly posterior. So when the left ventricle is posterior, and to the right of the left ventricle you have the left atria over here, the second rule, then the left atria would be shown by this, let me place this, say a small circle over here, that would be present posteriorly, LA. I'm just writing over here posteriorly. So this is, if you apply these two rules, then you have a general idea. Okay, this is how the chambers in the heart are positioned in a human being, not how we make it diagrammatically. So focus over here and try to understand few things again. If we look anteriorly on the right side we have the RA. Anteriorly, this green color is our RV, right ventricle. Anterior to the left side we have the LV. Posteriorly, what you are not able to see from anterior side, but what is present posteriorly is basically our LA, written over here posterior. That is also called as the base of the heart. It is also called the base of the heart. So this is how the chambers are associated in relation to each other. Okay, so if we now look at the border, so if we can now make the heart as in a whole, so we can make the heart like this from the anterior view. So if we are making the heart, how does it look from the anterior view? It may appear somewhat like this, that this is your heart over here from the anterior view. So anterior it may appear somewhat like this. Okay, and what is coming out and what is these chambers that we can first delineate. So first let's delineate the chambers. This will be the right coronary groove between the RA over here, right atrium, and the right ventricle, and this would be your anterior interventricular groove. This will be your anterior IV groove between the RV and the LV. This anterior interventricular groove will go posteriorly over here. Okay, and this coronary groove will also go posteriorly over here. So this is the coronary groove. This both are your coronary grooves. Now coronary grooves are same as your AV grooves. AV is atrioventricular grooves, and this is your anterior and this is your posterior IV groove. Posterior IV groove on the posterior side. Okay, and that would be your left coronary groove between the LA slightly above, mainly posteriorly, and it will go behind like this. It will try to meet over here, and as it meets posteriorly only, posterior, let us use this different color now. Posterior is this part. This is the posterior part of the right coronary groove, posterior part of the left coronary groove, posterior interventricular groove, and that will be our interatrial groove posteriorly. So this will be our IA groove posteriorly. So from the anterior and posterior they appear like this. From the anterior and posterior they appear like this. We should write it slightly over here that it is the interatrial groove. Okay, and that is the left atrium. This is the anterior view how the chambers are located. Now LA is present mostly on the posterior aspect. So this, as you can imagine now, if you look at each chamber, then this what we have seen. First of all, let us try to focus on RA. RA you are looking from anterior side is over here, and this is your interatrial groove. So behind this position also will be RA. RV we are seeing majority on the anterior side, right from this anterior interventricular groove, right from this anterior this right coronary groove to this anterior interventricular groove. This whole surface anteriorly is RV, and behind you can see this position will also be of RV lower down on the diaphragmatic surface. The LV which you are seeing, LV is mainly anteriorly, it is forming on the left side, but if you see at the posterior IV groove, this part whole will be LV. So what is above this hole is going to be a LA from behind. This is going to be LA from behind. That is also known as the base of the heart. So if you make this heart again from the posterior view, that was the anterior view. Now if you try to make it from the posterior view, from the posterior view it would be somewhat like this. It would be somewhat like this. What is entering, what are the main vessels that we have to also understand. So the main vessels, if you look at on both the sides, the main vessels coming from the anteriorly, from the RV, the main vessel is your pulmonary trunk. So this is your pulmonary trunk, divides into the two pulmonary arteries. This is your pulmonary trunk, divides into two pulmonary arteries. Okay, that is our anterior view. And from the LV we have what? We have the aorta. So aorta will actually come from here, and it will be covering anterior part of this right pulmonary artery, forms the arch, and it goes behind. So basically the pulmonary trunk is present where? On the just below the concavity of the aorta. And on this RA, what are opening? On this RA we have the openings of the SVC over here. This is the SVC, and below from here we have the blood which is going over here, that is IVC. What is opening into the LA? We can see it normally on the posterior aspect, but yes, there will be few pulmonary veins which would open into the posterior part of the heart into the LA. These are the pulmonary veins. So these are the various the structures which we see. SVC is lying over here. Okay, the pulmonary arteries, the right one goes behind the aorta and SVC. So if we look at it, the posterior view of the heart, then the posterior view, these over here would be your four pulmonary veins opening where? Into the left atrium. Okay, and posterior view, remember, if you look at these grooves also, then these grooves will be lying somewhat over here like this, somewhat over here like this. Okay, these grooves will be lying somewhat over here like this and like this. So this side what we have, this is the right ventricle part, that is the left ventricle part. This is basically our SVC and IVC going into the right atrium part. and this whole part, that is your LA, that is your left atrium. And if we make this groove also, that will be your coronary groove between, or you can say AV groove. So this is your left sided posteriorly AV groove over here. This is our posterior IV groove, the same over here between the LV and the RV. This will be our coronary groove because it is between RA and RV, that is the right side, right coronary groove, also known as the right AV groove. Okay, and these are your pulmonary veins over here. If we try to make it different color, then these would be our pulmonary veins opening to the base of the heart, that is your LA. So LA you can see mostly present on the posterior aspect. So this is actually telling us all those rules, that the right sided chambers are anterior to the left. You can see RV is more or less anterior to LV comparatively. RA is more or less anterior to LA. Then the atrias are to the right of their respective ventricles. So RA is to the right of RV. LA is slightly to the right of LV. So if you understand the basic rules, then you can understand these various the chambers, how they are located inside. These are the various groups. Now comes what are the borders. So if you look at the borders, then what will be the borders? The borders are not difficult. Borders mainly, they are not enough. One is the right sided border. You know by now which chamber is forming it, mainly RA. One is your inferior border, that is between the anterior surface and the inferior surface, mainly by the RV. Some contribution could be from the LV or RA, but mainly by RV. Then you have another border, that is the left border. I'll show in the figure also. That left border is mainly by LV. A small part could be by the left auricle. So if you look at this same thing, then this was what we draw in the heart anterior view. Okay, so this was our what? That was the right border. We are talking about the borders over here, mainly by RA. The whole chamber over here was RA. The inferior border is this, mainly by the RV, because that was the main surface over here, RV. And a small component maybe by the LV over here, that is the apex. And this was our left border, basically by the LV. Above we can have some part of the left auricle, which is the appendage coming from the left atrium which is present behind. So these are the borders. Okay, if we talk of the surfaces, then how many surfaces are there? Surfaces, basically the most important one is the sternocostal surface, that is the anterior surface. You can understand the name sternocostal surface, anterior surface. Mainly by which chamber? Mainly by RV. A small component will be there by LV, mainly by RV. Then we have a surface which is in contact with the diaphragm below, that is in the inferior surface or the diaphragmatic surface. Inferior surface or the diaphragmatic surface. So this is mainly by LV, a small component or 1/3 by the surface by the RV also. So diaphragmatic 2/3 by LV and 1/3 by RV. Then there is also a surface which is called as the posterior surface. This posterior surface is nothing but that is the base of the heart. So that we have seen already, that is basically by the chamber, that is our left atrium. A small component contribution made by the RA, but mainly remember the left atrium that forms the posterior surface of the base. The apex is where we saw that is the pointed part that is formed by the LV, There's also a term that is known as the crux of the heart. The crux of the heart, CRUX, crux of the heart, is present in the posterior aspect where all the grooves are meeting. So if we go back over here again, we see the posterior surface where all the grooves are meeting at this place. So this point would form what? This point would form the crux of the heart. Which grooves? The AV, the coronary grooves from this side, the IV grooves from this side, the coronary groove from this side, also the interatrial groove from this side. So interatrial, intraventricular, coronary grooves. All these grooves, they meet at a point in the posterior aspect of the heart, and this point is known as your CRUX. That is the, let me write over here, the crux of the heart. That is the crux of the heart. Okay, so these were your few borders and surfaces. Remember, anterior surface, sternocostal surface, the RV, inferiorly mainly LV, posterior surface is the base, mainly LA. So these are your border surface and the chambers of the heart. After this, we go to the surface projections. Then what is the surface marking? That if you look at a patient, or if you look at an X-ray, where would you think exactly would the heart be located? So first of all, remember in this that the heart location is a central in the thoracic cavity and slightly tilted to the left. So if you remember this, then things are better off. You know by now which chambers are forming which border and surfaces. So now let us see the surface marking over here. So if we try to make the manubrium sterni and the body of sternum over here, okay, and if we try to make few ribs which are attached from here, so first rib will be going like this, second rib will be going like this, third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh, okay. And we also have what, we also have a clavicle which is attached over here, that is going to the upper limb, clavicular bone of the appendicular skeleton, which is overlapping the first rib. So this is the clavicle which is actually overlapping our first rib, okay. So first rib is actually just behind this, so first rib is actually go behind, and it will go where, it will go behind into which vertebrae, into the T1 vertebrae. That is fine. Now this is your these are your ribs over here, these are your ribs over here, okay. They will be slightly oblique, more oblique, but we have to see out what we have to look out for 4 points, and if you join those 4 points you have a surface marking. So we know that between the two ribs the space is the space which is known as named after the rib which is above. So if this is the second rib, this is the third rib, then this space is going to be your second intercostal space, 1 point. So 4 points which we have to take during surface marking is on the left side. The 3 points are actually very close to the sternal border and one is far off. What are those 3 points? 1 point is close to the left second costal cartilage, second point is close to the right third costal cartilage, third point is close to the right sixth costal cartilage, around you can say 1 to 2 centimeters from the sternal margin. So these are 3 points, these are the 3 key points. This is the second costal cartilage on the left side, the third costal cartilage on the right, and the sixth costal cartilage on the right. And there's one more point, and that point is lying where at the what we say, the apex of the heart. Okay, that where's the position of the apex of the heart, where you feel the heartbeats. It is present in the fifth intercostal space. So this space is actually a fifth intercostal space, just middle to the mid clavicle line. So somewhere over here we have the fourth point. The point is close to the apex of the heart. It is at the fifth intercostal space, around 9.5 to 10 centimeter from the midline, mid-sternal line, or you can say just middle to mid-clavicle line. So these are your 4 points. These are what? These are your 4 points. This one is lying at the fifth ICS, fifth intercostal space. So if we do one thing, if we join all these 4 points like this, if we all join all these 4 points like this, they roughly form the area which is the heart, the area, the surface marking of the heart behind the sternocostal surface, bounded by the pericardium. So this location is very important. Now why is it important? You can see heart, normally what a non-medico, what a person who is not aware with the anatomy of the heart, what he's saying is that heart is on the left side. You can see that it is even on the right side of sternum. So if there is any penetrating or deep injury to the right sternal margin, there may be involvement of pericardium or the right atrium of the heart. This chamber over here has to be right atrium. We dealt with all the borders and surfaces also. Okay, so this is your surface projection. I repeat again, 4 points. On the left side we have the second costal cartilage, on the right side your third and sixth, close to the sternal margin, and the fourth point is at the apex of the heart, which is in the fifth intercostal space, around mid clavicle line or just middle to mid clavicle line. So guys, this was all about the basic anatomy of the heart, which every medical or anyone who is associated with the medical profession should essentially know. Once you know this, only then you will be able to understand this. So after this I will be coming up with more videos, and my next videos are going to be about the chambers of the heart. Okay, maybe in a day or two they will come. So thank you for your time. If you liked the video, press the like button, and if you want to share it, please do it so that more and more people are reached. And if you have not yet subscribed to the channel Anatomy Explained, do consider subscribing it. That's all from my side, Dr. Ankit Khandelwal, Anatomy Explained. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.